Today we are going to discuss about how we can classify text data. In previous session, we discussed if there is a structured data available with us, then how we can apply logistic regression, how to tune that we already discussed, then some other things. So in today's session, we will discuss about how we can work on text data. So we have a file available with us, and that file contains movie reviews available on IMDb. IMDb dataset.csv is a file which contains the movie reviews available on IMDb, and I hope everyone knows what IMDb is. I have sent link for this file on our group only. I hope you must have downloaded this file. So let's open this file in read mode and check what are the contents of this file. So we are opening this file, and now we can read this file line by line, something like this. Let's say line is equal to let's say I want to read first 5 lines, so I will write for underscore in range 5. I don't want to use I over here because I'm not going to use this I variable. So instead of I can write underscore because it is something that I don't want to use, and we'll write line is equal to in file dot read line, and let us print this line, print line. So basically this IMDb dataset.csv file I have already downloaded and uploaded in my Jupyter notebook. If you are using another ID, simply put that file next to your code or specify the complete path. So we are opening this file. I just want to read first 5 lines only. That's why I'm using this for loop. There are total 50,000 reviews. So processing that file will take a long time. So I'm not going to process entire file. So this is a for loop. I'm reading one line at a time and printing that line. So first line is simply this thing, review comma sentiment. So this is a file header that first part is a review and second part is a sentiment. So what is this review and what is the sentiment? So if you will check this thing, the entire thing in double quote is a review given by person for a movie. So review is one of the others reviewer has mentioned that other watching just one OZ episodes and you will be hooked and something like that. And there's a review and the review is positive. So at the end there is something called as comma positive. Then there is a second review, a wonderful little production and something like that. And they have mentioned that review is positive. Review is positive. If you will see this review is negative. Basically there is a family with little boy thinks there is a zombie in the closet and something like that. So this movie is slower than a soap opera and suddenly something like that. And basically movie is negative. So the sentiments positive and this negative, these sentiments are not available on IMDb site. The reviews are taken from IMDb site, and these sentiments are manually marked. That okay, this sentiment. If this is the review, then movies sentiment is negative. Means the opinion of a person for movie is negative. If this is the review, then opinion of a person about that movie is positive, and so on. So basically, it's a text data, and so there are two things. One is a review field, and another field is a opinion, that whether the movie is positive or whether the review is positive or not. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to create a classifier which can classify these tweets, or which can classify this sentiments or reviews, or it can be anything. So the method we are going to discuss now, that you can apply it on Facebook posts, you can apply it on Twitter reviews, you can apply it on comments also, you can apply it on movie reviews. Basically you can apply it anywhere. So the very basic thing that we are supposed to do for this thing is there are few steps that you are supposed to do, apply. The steps are like this. First, convert the sentence to lowercase. You are supposed to convert the sentence to lowercase. Nice one. So we are supposed to convert the sentence to lowercase. So why we are supposed to convert the sentence to lowercase? Because when we are doing coding and you are writing something like this, let's say play, and second word is play. So when we are reading, these two words are same. This is also play, this is also play. But according to computer, these two words are different. Why? Because the P, it is with capital P and this is with small letter p. Both are having different ASCII characters to represent them. P is having a different ASCII, capital P has a different ASCII late character, sorry, ASCII number, and small p letter has a different ASCII number. So according to computer doing calculations, these two are different words. So but both word represent the same thing, both word represent the same meaning also. That's why the first step that we should do is convert the sentence into lowercase. That should be the first step. After that, you can observe there are some HTML tags like this. There is a BR tag over here, but it is not necessary that there will be only BR tag. There can be any kind of HTML tags because we are taking the data from browser. So there can be tags like a bold tag, or there can be tags like let's say underline tag or italic tag, or there can be any kind of tag in a data present. So our step, the important thing is, but these tags, BR tag or any other tag, they do not represent any sentiment. It is just there for formatting. It is just there for formatting. So we are supposed to remove HTML tags from the data. So second step is remove HTML tags, like in our case, BR tag from the data. So we are supposed to remove HTML tags. In our case, there is only BR tag, so we are considering BR tag only. But while coding and working on other data set, you are supposed to look in the data that which other types of tags are available in the data. After that, we are supposed to remove the numbers. You are supposed to remove the numbers, then punctuation marks, and special characters. So like this, a little boy Jack. So this opening and closing bracket, this is only for our understanding that okay, boy hai, uska naam Jake hai, something like that and all. Then there is a then this double quotes and so on. So these are not actually required. This is something which is visual representation, but it is not like I mean nahi chahiye. Then there are commas and dots and all. We don't want that because they do not represent sentiments directly. They do not represent sentiments directly. So we are supposed to remove this thing. Then we are supposed to remove the white spaces. So white spaces means what? This is a white space. So, but okay, it's a separate. It's separating the words. But here, see, there are soap opera, three dots, space. Sometimes what you do, you give a tab. Sometimes you unnecessarily give two enter lines. So tab, two blank lines or enters, extra spaces. So these are called as white spaces. White spaces means what? Something which is not displayed but visible. Like here, this is one line, this is another line, but there is one empty line over here. So this is called as black white space. So if there is any tab or empty line or extra spaces, these are called as white spaces. So we are supposed to remove those white spaces because they do not represent any emotion. Second thing, tokenize the sentence. Tokenize the sentence means what? Divide the sentence into one words. Divide the sentence into words. That is called as tokenization. Tokenization means what? Divide the sentence into words and then process every word individually. Divide the tokenization means divide the sentence into word and then process every word individually. After that, there is the most important step that is called as remove the stop words. So what do you mean by stop words? So stop word means what? The words which are there in all types of sentences. For example, let's say I am happy. I am sad. So these are two sentences. I am happy sentence which represents the positive mood, and I am sad sentence represents the negative mood. So here this is a positive sentence, this is a negative sentence that we can say. But I and am, both words are there. These two words are there in both the sentences and they do not represent any emotion. Means if I'm using this word I or am, it can be there in positive sentence or negative sentence, and it does not actually help in classifying a sentence as positive sentence or negative sentence or happy emotion or sad emotion. Such a words are called as stop words. Such a words are called as stop words. For example, we can say something like this: he was happy while, let's say, eating. And second is like, say, okay, they were sad while study time or something like that. So what about this? Was, where, he, they, this, while. This does not represent any sentiment. So what represents sentiments? Happy word, sad word, eating words, study time words. So it's like sad, study time, happy, eating. So these are the words which actually represents some emotions. So you can say that, okay, sir, how eating words can represent the emotion? So it's like depending on hotel review, no? Eating. So I was eating there. It was very nice. And second was I was sitting there and it was pleasant. Means what? Sitting and pleasant means it was, they are talking about ambience. Eating and happy means they are talking about food. But what about he, was, they, were, while? They can be there in every type of sentence. So such words are called as stop words. So the very important step is, while before applying any kind of classification on a data, before applying any kind of classification on a classification algorithm on a data, we are supposed to remove these stop words. That's most important thing. Then stemming. Stemming means what? It's like something, eating, eat. Both are same words according to us, but it is eating. This is eat. So if we'll apply stemming, if you will apply stemming, eating word will be replaced. Eating word will be changed to it. If it was like playing, so playing will be replaced, changed to play. Then it's like there are many other things. For example, played. Played will be changed to play also. Or cooked will be changed to cook. So basically, you are bringing the word to its original form. Bringing the words to its original form. That is called as stemming. Means eating, it will be changed to ate. Cooked will be changed to cook, and also basically, you are bringing the word to its original form. That is called as stemming. And the algorithm which does this, or the algorithm which does this, is called as stemming algorithm. So we are supposed to divide the sentence into single words, that is tokenization. Then if a token is a stop word, then remove that token, and remaining words we are supposed to apply stemming on it, so that eating and eat will remain same, playing and play will remain same, will become a same word. Cooked and cook will become a only one word. So cooked will be converted to cook, playing will be converted to play, eating will be converted to eat. So basically, you are bringing the words to their original form. That is called as a stemming. Then next step is like create vector of words. So shortly we will see what do you mean by vector of words. After that, calculate TF IDF. We will see what TF IDF is, and then finally we are supposed to use TF IDF for classification. So these are the steps. Convert the sentence to lowercase. Most important thing. Remove the HTML tags if anything available in a data. Then remove the numbers or punctuation marks, anything available in the data, remove. That is special characters we are supposed to remove. Remove the white spaces if there are. Then divide the sentence into words, that is tokens. Check whether that word is a stop word or not. If it is a stop word, then remove that word. Apply stemming on that, and create the vector of those words. We'll see how to create the vectors of words, and calculate TF-IDF and use a TF-IDF. So we are supposed to calculate the TF-IDF from the vector and use the TF-IDF for classification. So these are the steps. Okay, so there is a doubt in WhatsApp group. It says, sir, what if instead of there wasn't then? See, if it is there wasn't something like that, then we are supposed to do that processing in Python coding or any other language that you are using. If it's asking instead of was, if it is wasn't, then we are supposed to write appropriate code for that. That wasn't means was not. So you can check whether there is any wasn't or there is something like a. You can simply check for like this. Is there anything like this? If it is like this, then replace it by not. So it will become was not, and so on. So basically, you can do all these things in coding. So these things are like we should do, and we should know what to do about it. So any doubt till this point, class? Yashwani, yes, I will be explaining vector of words and TF-IDF shortly. We are going to cover that thing in today's session only. Okay. So now the important question is how the word is converted into, how the sentence is converted into vector. See, in machine learning, basic requirement is that in every row there must be equal number of columns. In every row there must be equal number of columns. So we have seen uh, Titanic data, equal number of columns were there in every row. Iris data, equal number of columns in every row. Then electricity products consumption data, equal number of columns in every row. Means what? Basically there are equal number of columns in every row. But the moment we are talking about sentence, it is not equal number of columns, or there are not equal number of words in every sentence. For example, let's take say I am good is one sentence. He is very good is another sentence. Let's say I am very good is one more sentence, and let's say he is bad is another sentence, and final sentence is I am good, he is bad. So now if you will see, in first sentence there are 3 words, in second sentence there are 4 words, in this sentence there are 5 words, in this sentence there are 3 words, and in this sentence there are 6 words. Means 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, 3 words, 6 words. So in every sentence almost there are a different number of words. Means if we'll consider every word is one column, then number of columns in every sentence are different. So which is not suitable for our machine learning classifier. So how can we convert this data into format which can be directly given as input to machine learning classifier? So it is something like this. Now, okay, just for this example, forget about stopwords. For this example, forget about stopwords. We are even considering for stopwords in this example just for keeping it simple. Identify how many different words are there. I is one word, M is good word, one word, good is third word, he is a fourth word, is 5 word, fifth word, where is the 6th word? So good, it's already there in a list, I already there in a list, M is already there in a list, very is there, good, it's already there, he, it's there, it's there, bad, it's not there. Let us add it to the list. I is there in a list, M is there in a list, good is there in a list, he is there in a list, is there in a list, and bad is there in a list. So if I'll go through every sentence, if I'll go through all the sentences, then how many unique words are there? How many unique words are there? So there are 7 unique words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are total 7 unique words there in all the sentence, not in one sentence. In if I'll consider all the sentences, there are 7 unique words. So how to represent first sentence in the form of vector? How to represent first sentence in the form of vector? I. First I. Is I there in first sentence? Yes. I'll write it as 1. Is M there? This is our list. Huh? I am considering this list only. Huh? I am referring to this list only. Is M there in first sentence? Yes. I'll mark it as 1. Is good in first sentence? Yes. I'll mark it as 1. Is he in first sentence? No. So I'll mark it as 0. Is it is there in first sentence? No. Very, it is not there in first sentence. Bad, it is not there in first sentence. So this is how I'll represent first sentence in the form of vector. Second sentence. Now I'm going to second sentence. Is I there in a second sentence? Is I there in second sentence? No. So it's 0. M, no. Good, yes. Good is there in second sentence. So I'll mark it as 1. He, yes, it is there in second sentence. I'll mark it as 1. It's, yes, it's there. Very, yes, it's there in second sentence. I'll mark it as 1. Bad, it's not there in second sentence. So basically, we are not considering the occurrence sequence in a sentence. We are considering the occurrence sequence in our unique words list. We are considering the occurrence sequence in a unique words list. And according to the unique words list, according to the Unix words list, or according to the sequence in unique words list, we are creating this vector. So let's say for next thing, I, yes, it's there in third sentence. M is there in third sentence. Good, yes, good is there in third sentence. He, it's not there in third sentence. Is, it's not there in third sentence. Very, yes, very word is there in third sentence, but it appeared twice. It appeared twice. Bad is not there in third sentence. Similarly, we can create for fourth sentence. I is not there. M is not there. He is there. Is there. Very is okay. Am I missing something? M is missing. I is missing. M is missing. Good is missing in third sentence. Yes. He is there in third sentence. Is there in third sentence. Very is missing in third sentence. Bad, yes, it's there in third sentence. So okay, not in third, in fourth sentence. Now let's go for fifth sentence. I is there in fifth sentence. M is there in fifth sentence. Good is there in fifth sentence. He is there in fifth sentence. Is there in fifth sentence. Very is missing in fifth sentence. Yes. Bad is there in fifth sentence. So it's something like this. So this is how you can convert a sentence into vector, and all the vectors are having equal number of words. All the vectors are having equal number of columns. Even though sentences are having different number of words, all the vectors are now having equal number of columns. And what they're representing, whether a particular word is there in a sentence or not, and if a word is there, how many times a particular word has occurred. So 0 means word is not there, 1 means word appeared once, 2 means word appeared twice. And which word? So it's the second last word, C. Second last word is very. So this is called as a converting the sentence into a vector. This is called as converting the sentence into vector. Any doubt, class? How to convert the sentence into vector? Okay, what about others? So Shivam is saying that there is no doubt. Okay, Ashwin is saying, okay, no doubt. Good. So Okay, thank you. Good. So there is no doubt in both the topics. Good. So now let's move to our normal steps. So the steps, how we can write those steps. For that we need regular expression also. So we have seen a bit of regular expression previously. File path is equal to file name, that is a imdb dataset dot csv. Let us open this file. Oh, with open specified file path as in file. Oh, so if you'll see here, while we are reading 5 lines from a file, first line is not required us. First line is not required for us. Why? Because the line contains only header. Na? This is the review. This is sentiment. Do you want this thing? No, we don't want this thing. And since we don't want this thing, we can simply skip first line. Na? We can simply skip first line. We don't want this line. It is only a header. So let us write like this. Write a code like this. Line is equal to infile dot read line, and after this we'll use for loop for underscore in let's say range of 10. I want to read first 10 comments, and its line is equal to line dot read line, and let's print this line. Did some mistake. It should be inline, sorry, it should be infile dot read line, my bad. So first review followed by sentiment, second review followed by sentiment, and so on. See, so this review is very big, something like that. Someone has gone for even a paragraph, and some reviews like very small. If you like the original gut wrenching laughter, okay, something like this. So it's like a small and all, and that's why vectorizing is required. So we can read this thing. So what is our first step? Converting the line into lowercase, converting the sentence into lowercase. So we can directly do thing in same line only while we are reading. So we'll read the line and go for dot lower. With the read the line, that then we will go for lower. Now here see there are upper cases also in between, forget, oh, and something like that. But here we are directly going for lowercase. Let's run this thing, and now see the entire sentence is in lowercase. Everything is in lowercase. So converting it to lowercase is very simple. Simply we can append dot lower to read line. We can simply append dot lower to read line. Next thing, we want to separate the sentiment. We want to separate the sentiment from the review. So this is the review, and this part is a sentiment. So sentiment is like a word, na, which is present at the end of a review. How many characters are there in sentiment? POSITIVE. POSITIVE. There are 8 characters. How many characters are there? There are 8 characters. And if a review is negative, how many characters are there in negative? NEGATIVE. So it doesn't matter whether a sentiment word is positive or negative. There are 8 characters only, na? It doesn't matter whether the words are whether the sentiment is positive or negative. There are 8 characters only. So we are supposed to segregate review and the sentiment word. We are supposed to segregate review and sentiment word. So how can we do it? It's very easy. Check this thing. So we can use string operations over here. So we are writing sentiment is equal to. So we know line is a string, na? And we can treat it as a list of characters also. We know line is a string. Here we know line is a string, and we can use string as a list of characters also. We can use string as a list of characters also. So we are saying that I want last 8 characters. I want last 8 characters. So how can we get last 8 characters? We'll say length of a line. How many characters are there in a line? -9. So why we are writing -9? Because we know Python is a zero indexing based thing, na? So if a length of particular string is 20, then according to Python, it is indexed from 0 to 19. According to Python, it is indexed from 0 to 19. So if we want last 8 characters, we cannot simply subtract 8 from the length. If we want last 8 characters, we cannot simply subtract 8 from the length. We have to subtract 9 from the length because it's a zero based language. And up to what? Let's say length of line. Now let us print this thing. I will print the line and okay. First I'll print the sentiment and then we'll print the line. See here. No, yes. So this is a positive sentiment. So we can easily extract the sentiment. No? We can easily extract the sentiment. Simply extract from this point to length of line, that is to the last character. And which character? Length minus 9 character. So it will extract last 8 characters. It will extract last 8 characters. But okay, now we know we can extract last 8 characters and these 8 characters represents the, we can extract last 8 characters and these 8 characters represents the sentiment. But still line is complete. Still there is positive at the end of a line. We want to remove that also. No? We want to remove that also. So we'll write line is equal to line of. So what we want from beginning. Na? So we'll write colon. When we write colon means what? From the beginning up to what? Length of line minus 9. So what we are saying, line is equal to what? From line, take all the characters, but it is colon only. Colon means what? From the beginning up to this part. That we are skipping last 8 characters. We are skipping last 8 characters. And why we are subtracting line? Because it's a zero based language, zero indexing language. So indexing zero base. So we are subtracting line. And now check this thing. See here. So this is a sentiment and this is a review. And at the end of a review, there is nothing like a positive or negative. Again, we can observe over here also. We can observe here also, and so on. That thing is missing. And since after this positive something, there is a extra empty line. So to remove that, I can write end is equal to something like this. It's a Python way. So after this, I don't want an empty line. So this is a sentiment for first review, and this is a first review. Then this is a sentiment from second review, and this is the second review, and so on. So in this code, I'm using only first 10 reviews for demonstration because there are total 50,000 reviews. We don't want to go into that detail. It will unnecessarily take huge time to process it. Any doubt, class, till this point? Okay, so no doubt. So basically, this is how we can process the file. So let's go to next step if you don't have any doubt. Ashwini is tapping for a long time. She might be having a doubt. Yes, Ashwini? Okay, no doubt. Okay, so there is a doubt. Sir, what if the sentiment is neutral? See, if a sentiment is neutral now, and you have such files, then what you can do, you can check for how many characters are there, neutral and or. So if you are creating your data set, then what you should do, instead of writing neutral, you can write neutral hyphen something like that. So you can do something like this. Instead of positive, you will write, let's say instead of positive, you will write positive. Instead of negative, you can write negative. And instead of neutral, you can write something like this. So it's up to you how you are creating a file. And if you know that, okay, there are files, then what you can do, you can extract last 8 characters, 7 characters, and then you can check whether 7 characters are neutral or not. If 7 characters are neutral, then keep it those only. Otherwise, you can extract 8 characters. So basically, you need to write if else kind of loop. That what are last 7 characters? If they are neutral, means it is a neutral. Otherwise, extract 8 characters instead of 7 characters. So you need to write that kind of logic in your Python code. So it's a situation dependent thing. You need to take a call according to the situation. So you extract first last 7 characters, check whether they are neutral. If yes, keep it that way. Otherwise, extract one more character from, and that character will represent the sentence. Ashwini, I hope your doubt is solved. Okay, so Vinod is asking what if the length of sentiment are different. See, Vinod, when you are creating a data set, so either you will be creating a data set or you will be taking a data set from someone. So right now we are in a teaching field, like I am teaching, you are learning, every data set is free. But the moment you are in real life, no, the data is like data is not free. If you are working in a company, company needs to pay for data, and when company is paying for data, what company will ask? I want data in proper format. So I want it this format. If I'm paying for you, I want it in this format. So you will get it. You will get data in proper format. And if data is not in proper format, then before applying machine learning, there is something called as a data engineering. There's something called as data engineering, and there is a separate team for data engineering, and there is a separate team for machine learning. And the data engineering team will ensure that if there are reviews like bad and good, they will bring a data in proper appropriate format using the logic just I told that okay, if reviews are like bad or good, they will first extract last 3 characters and will check whether last 3 characters are good, bad, then review is bad. But if review is good, then last extracted 3 characters will be OOD. So they'll simply check. If last extracted 3 characters are BAD, means review is bad. But if last extracted 3 characters are OOD, means review is good. So they can simply have a logic something like this. If let's say last is equal to BAD, then sentiment is equal to bad, else sentiment is equal to, or let's say they can write sentiment is equal to, let's say, positive, otherwise sentiment is equal to negative, and accordingly they can trim. So if it is bad, there is no need to trim it further, but if it is a negative, they can trim one more character from a sentence. So they can write such kind of logic. So we need to write such kind of logics, or data engineers need to write such kind of logic to deal with the situation. Okay, Vinod, thank you. So let us move to next part in a coding. That is okay. Now we have converted it into uh, lower case. We have separated the segment, sentiment, and the review from each other. So instead of line, let me use a proper word, review. So from line, we have extracted the sentiment as well as review. The next thing that we are supposed to remove HTML tags like BR and all. For that, it's very simple. So from review, I want to remove those tags. So I'll go for review is equal to review dot replace. So what we are supposed to replace? We want to replace BR tag, but I directly want to remove it. I don't want, so I'll replace it by nothing. I want to remove BR tag now. So I will replace BR tag by nothing. So review dot replace BR tag by nothing. So now you can see here, there are BR tags in between. So let us run this code. What happened? Review is equal to review dot replace. Sorry. I did a small mistake. Here it is a slash also. I missed that slash. Yes. Now there are no BR tags in our code. Am I right? Now there are no BR tags in our code. So if you can replace BR tag this way, you can replace any other tag. Like instead of BR, if you want to replace underline tag or if you want to replace bold tag, you can replace it without any issue. Code is simple. Simply specify the tag and replace it by nothing. So basically you are removing it. You are replacing by nothing means what? You are removing it. So any doubt till this point? Thank you, Shubham, for your instantaneous input. Any doubt, class? No doubt? Okay, good. So the next step is like after this, we are supposed to remove the special characters. Now, we are supposed to remove special characters means we want to remove special characters, numbers, everything. So if we'll reverse it, means what? We want to keep only letters. I want to remove numbers, special characters, underscore, white spaces, everything I want to remove. Means what? I want to keep only letters from A to Z. That to small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, and capital A to capital Z. So for that we can use regular expression. So we can write this review is equal to re dot substitute. Again we are substituting unnecessary parts by nothing. So in substitute sub method, what we are specifying is what we want to keep. So what we want to keep is like this. I want to keep letters from small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and white space. And white space. Otherwise क्या हो जाएगा? There will not be any space between these two words. And we want to keep this space as it is. Na? Otherwise, first thing that stuck will be a single word and you will not understand what it means. We want to keep these words separate. Means we want to keep this white space as it is, but only for space. Tab, backslash n we want to remove. So what we are saying, I want to keep this thing. Small a to small z, capital to capital Z, and white space. Everything else replaced by nothing. Everything else replaced by nothing. And it is available in review word. Review. So there is a comment. Okay, so Aaron is asking a question, why capital, sir? We are converting it to lowercase now. Yes, Aaron. We are converting it to lowercase, so we can delete it. So we want to keep only small a to small z and a space. Other than this small a to small z and space, if there is anything other than this, we are supposed to replace it by nothing from review. And again, we are receiving it in review only because we don't want to use separate variable. So now see, there are double quotes, there are dots, comma, and everything there. Let's run it. And now you can see everything else is removed. There are only small a to small z letters. Other than everything else is removed. Sure. So it's done. So our basic steps, how many steps we have covered till now? Converting the sentence to lowercase, removing the tags, removing the punctuation characters, and removing the white spaces. From white spaces, we kept only space, tab, backslash, and everything will be removed. So our next step will be tokenizing the words. Our next step will be tokenizing the words. So tokenizing the words is very easy. and we already know how to tokenize the words. We did it in one of the previous sessions. So how you can tokenize the word? There is a, I can create words is equal to review dot split. So I can use split method, and to split method, what I'm supposed to pass? Blank space. So I know by default it is blank space only, but I want to write it like this way. So split the review on a white space means what? Now you are creating the array. Now you are creating the array from a single sentence. So here instead of words, if I'll sorry, instead of review, if I'll print words, it is something like this. Positive is the sentiment, and these are the words available in the review. Then positive is a sentiment for second review. Positive is a sentiment for second review, and these are the words available in a second review. Positive is a sentiment for third review, and these are the words available in third review, fourth review, and so on. So these are the words available. So means we did tokenization. So our next step is we want to do stemming. Na? Stop word removal we'll see after some time. But before that, what we want to do? We want to go for stemming. Am I right? Sorry, I skipped the step for stop word. No, we'll do after some time. How you can do? Or okay. Let's go in proper sequence only. Why to skip it? Let's check how you can. I'll not change the sequence. Sorry for changing the sequence. Let's go with proper sequence only. Stop word removal. So for stop word removal, we can use NLTK library. For that, say we'll import NLTK, and from NLTK.corpus, we'll import stop words. So this is the predefined list of stop words. You can stick to that list, or you can use different list also, doesn't matter. It's up to your choice. And then we'll say go with like say NLTK dot download stop words. So NLTK library is normally available with Anaconda Python, but the list of stop words is not available. We need to explicitly download that list, but we need to download it only once. After that, the list will remain there. The download will remain there in your system only. So let's say I want stop words. So I want stop words from, but from for which language? So I want stop words for English language. So stop words dot words for English language. So basically we want stop words, but we want stop words for English language, and we are converting that thing into a list for our purpose. And let's print these words. Print stop words. So depending on our internet speed, it might take some time here and there to download the stop words. So currently, yes, it took few seconds to download these words. So this is the list of stop words. If you can see, so there is stop word like won't, wouldn't, and something like that. Was and everything. I, me, my, we, our, and so on. So there is a list of stop words. If you want, you can append some words to this list, or if you want, you can remove some words from this list depending on your requirement. So okay, let me copy this code. Here. So now we know that okay, stop words is a list of stop words. Stop underscore words is a list of stop words. And let us go with this thing. We want to do a tokenization. So for tokenization, I want to divide the review into words. For that, I can use split method. review dot split. So I'm splitting it on a blank space. And now instead of review, if I'll print words, we know now the entire review is present in the form of words. So what we are supposed to check, whether the word present in the review like one, of, the, other is a stop word or not. If a particular word is stop word, we are supposed to eliminate that word. If a particular word is a stop word, we are supposed to eliminate that word. So let's say I'm using a result list. I'm using a result list which is a blank list. I'm using a result list which is a blank list. And now we can use a for loop. For example, let's say we can go for word in words. So this for loop will go through every word in this words list. It will go through every words in word list. And while processing that thing, and we are checking if word is not in, or if word is not in stop words list, stop underscore words list. If this word is not in stop words list, then we will append it to result. Then we will append it to the result dot append word. So initially result is an empty list. We have splitted our review into array of words or list of words. We are going through every word in that list one by one, and then we are checking if word is not in stop words list, then only we are appending that word to results. Then only we are appending that words to the result. So now instead of printing the words, let's print result. And now you can see number of words are less now. No? Number of words are less, like that of and all those words are removed. Of and all those words are removed. We can easily see the list. The number of words are less. Number of words are less means what? Basically, we removed the stop words. We removed the stop words from the list. But this is a list, na? So this is a list, but we don't want list. We want what? We want review without stop words. We don't want list without stop words. This is a list without stop words. We don't want list without stop words. We want review without stop words. So class, any doubt till this point? No doubt? Good. So how to convert the list into sentence? How to convert the list into sentence or word? For that, we can write something like this. Result is equal to blank space dot join ah. So we know this saying that okay, sir, you remove dot, so who all become okay, who all instead of who will you all. So basically, he's asking, we know this suggesting that we should first remove stop words and then go for this thing. So what we know is suggesting is something like this in a group. We have a review that we have a review, split it in this thing, remove the stop words, join it as a review again, and then replace this thing, every other thing, or remove the thing, something like this. So this is what is suggesting Vinod. Okay, Vinod, it's a good suggestion, and logically it is more appropriate also. Something is wrong. Join. Ah, Instead of result, we'll print review. Yes. So what Vinod was suggesting that we should remove stopword first and then remove the special characters. So that's what Vinod was suggesting in a group. And yes, Vinod, your suggestion is more appropriate and correct. Thanks for the correction. So good. So what we did, we removed the stopwords, convert from a list and converted that list back into the sentence using this. And we have already seen this thing during our previous sessions that this is a blank space is also character. So, or it can be considered as a blank string and dot join. So every word in a list will be separated by space. Every word in a list, a results list, everyone in a result list will be separated by space. So one space reviewers plus mentioned plus watching and something like this. So it works properly. Any doubt class till this point? So we tokenize it, then we remove the stop words. After removing the stop words, we remove special characters and so on. Okay, why result is in red? Because while typing it, I did a mistake, and then no, there is no. It is not indentation mistake. Okay, if you don't want in red, I'll type it. Okay, it's indentation mistake. Result dot append what? So while typing, there was a mistake. Now it is not in red. Any other doubt? Okay, done. So let's move to next step. So now we know that okay, we have results and all, but it's like it's only process now. We want it in array. We want it in array. So how can we take it in array? So to take it in array, let's say I'll create an array of reviews, and the second array that I want to create is an array of sentiments. So we have an array of reviews and we have an array of sentiments. Initially, both the arrays are empty, and here I can do something like this. I will write reviews dot append. In a reviews array, we will append the review, and in sentiments list, we will append our or the sentiment about that movie. And outside this while loop, we can print this thing. We can print reviews and we can print the sentiments. And now you can see here, so these are the reviews. These are the reviews, and these are the sentiments associated with those reviews. So there are total 10 reviews and there are total 10 sentiments. If you want to check whether there are 10 reviews or not, we can simply print this thing length and see there are 10 reviews. The entire list was too big to understand that there are 10 reviews, but yes, there are 10 reviews and there are corresponding 10 sentiments. Any doubt in this thing? Okay, so uh, next thing that we can do is we can go for classification. How we can go for classification? Because if I'll remove this len, so I'm printing reviews and sentiments. So this reviews list will act as this reviews list will act as X part, and sentiments list will act as a Y part. This reviews list can act as X part, and sentiment list can act as a y part. Means now we have x part and y part. Since we have x part and y part, can we go for classification? Yes, we can go for classification, but still this x part is not in a structured way. This x part is not in a proper structured way. We want it in a proper structured way. So how we can do it in a proper structured way? So means to bring it in a proper structured way, we need to go for creating the vector. What we should do? We should create a vector, and for creating the vector, yes, there is a method available. We see how we can create the vector manually, but there is a way available in sklearn to create the vectors using code, and that way is something like this. So from sklearn dot feature underscore extraction dot text, we are supposed to import count vectorizer. So from sklearn dot feature underscore extraction, so which feature we want to extract? We want to extract text feature, and which text feature we want? We are interested in count vectors. So it is a vector like this. It's a count vector. Am I right? It's a count vector. So that kind of vector we want to create. So we are importing that count vectorizer, and after that, okay, let's create a object of count vectorizer. So vectorizer is equal to count vectorizer, and to which we are specifying that max underscore features is equal to 50. So what is this max underscore features is equal to 50? It means what? Use only most frequently appeared 50 words. Use only most frequently appeared 50 words. We don't want all 50 words. So why we want to specify this 50 words, or let's say 200 words or 150 words, something like this. Just take an example of our real life. How many different words you use in one day? So let's say you are talking in a, so let's say your English skills are really good, and in entire day you speak only in English. You are not using any other language. It doesn't matter whether we are with your friends or at your family, or you are in Kirana store also. You are asking that, okay, Bhaiya, please give me this, something like that, and so anything else, little bit anything. How many different words you will use in entire day? 300, 400. I don't think you will use any more words than 300 or 400. It's a different case if you are a fan of Shashi Tharoor, or it's like you are preparing for GRE or something like that, and then you are using all the words which are available in dictionary or something like that. But that is not going to happen. That is a very rare case. So if you are a Shashi Tharoor, then you can use 400 or 500 different words also, doesn't matter. But we are a normal human beings, so you will use 300, 400 different words. If you are not able to think about it, let's simply think. Even though you are using Hindi as your language, or English, which is the combination of Hindi and English, how many different words you use in one day? And you cannot recollect words more than 150 or 200 unless and until you are very fluent in your Hindi. Like you are telling your mom that, Mate, ये भाजी देख के मेरा मन बहुत व्यथित हो रहा है. It's like अच्छा नहीं लगता. That's it. It doesn't matter what you are talking about. मम्मी बोलेगी ये सब्जी खाओ, अच्छा नहीं लगता. Then it's like वो काम करो, मूड नहीं है. How many words are there? Very limited number of words are there. So Aaron, what happened? Uh, so it's something like thanks, Aaron. So it's like we use very limited number of words, and same thing is there about reviews also. ना तुमको किसी ने पूछा what was the movie, how was the movie review, मूवी कैसे था? अरे बकवास था. वो भी कुछ रहता है क्या? गाड़ी थोड़ी उड़ता रहता है, सब गाड़ी उड़ा रहा था. बकवास मूवी, नथिंग एल्स. अरे एक्टिंग के नाम पे पूरा सत्यानाश. हाउ मेनी डिफरेंट वर्ड्स यू विल यूज? तुमको अगर मूवी रिव्यू बनाने दिया, इवन दो यू आर आस्किंग अ गर्ल अबाउट मूवी रिव्यू who likes to chat a lot, or you are asking a boy about a movie review who likes to chat a lot, वो कितना वर्ड्स बताएगा? 100 words, 150 words. But how many words are repeated in that thing? If you will count unique number of words, there will be 30 or 40 words, even though that person is using 200 words. Doesn't matter. सब ऐसा ही रहेगा. That's why we can go with some maximum number of words, let's say 100 or 200 or 50, something like that. So let's say we want to go with the maximum number of max features is 100, means what? You use only 100 words. But what if there are more than 100 words? Okay, let it be there are 150 unique words. Use only most frequently occurred 100 words, most frequent 100 words, that way. And let's say we are going with x is equal to vectorizer dot fit, vectorizer dot, okay, I don't need x now, I'll go with vectorizer dot fit. So let's say fit it on reviews, fit it on reviews, and once it is fit, so we say we saw in previous session also fit followed by transform, so we'll go with vectorizer dot transform. So apply transformation on reviews and convert that thing into array. So we are going with to array. So we are going converting the result into array. Let's print this thing, print x, and now we can see. So it's like how many times a particular word has appeared, 2 or 1 times, 3 times. See, so particular many words people are using multiple times, and most of the words are zero, na? Most of the words are zero. Like this, see the last sentence, 1 2 1 2 1. It's very difficult thing. So how many limited words are there? So instead of 100, I'm going with 200 words. It's very difficult to print so many words in one line. 100 words is good. So very few words are repeated, it doesn't matter. Very few words are repeated, it doesn't matter. So now what I'm doing, I am let's say I'm commenting this line, and while creating this count vectorizer, I'm not specifying anything. I'm not specifying anything. So it's something like this, and let's print the shape of x. X dot shape. It is saying there are 609 unique words. It's saying that there are 609 unique words, and out of those we were going for 100 most frequently used words without any issue. So so you might say, sir, there are only 100 reviews, no, that we are considering. Let's say instead of 100, I'm going with 1000 reviews. Let's see how much time it will take to process 1000. Okay, so 1000 reviews are processed, and now let us check how many unique words are there in 1000 reviews. 21,000 unique words are there. 21,000 unique words are there, and instead of 21,000, let's say we are going with 100. What will happen? It doesn't matter, still it will work. So it's up to you how many unique words you should use. Even deep learning also you are going now. Normally people do go with 500 unique most frequently words, or 1100 most frequently words, something like that. But normally no one goes beyond 500 or 600 unique words, because your sentiments are like it was good, bad, it was horrible, or it was slow pace and all. You can think about the words. So one should not go with these many unique, these many number of unique words. It's good to stick to few unique words. It is always I should comment this thing. It is always good to go with few number of unique words. That is always a good idea. So any doubt, class? Okay, Sahil is asking, zero means word has appeared once. No, zero means word does not appear in that review. It is occurrence count. Zero means does not appear, one means appeared once, two means appeared twice, and so on. Zero means does not appear. Sure. Okay, good. So now this is a this is a frequency of every word. Now this is a frequency of every word. So then there is something called as TF-IDF. It's one of the most important feature for text processing. It is a TF hyphen IDF. It's like term frequency followed by IDF frequency. So term frequency, TF stands for term frequency. So what do you mean by term frequency? Term frequency means number of occurrence of particular word in a review. Term frequency means what? Number of occurrence of particular word in a review. But वो लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Number of occurrence क्यों use करने का? Why? If a review is small, number of occurrence are less. If a review is lengthy, number of occurrence are lengthy. Suppose if someone is a fan of let's say Salman Khan, वो क्या करेगा? वो इतनी बार गुड 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 लिखेगा भगवान मालिक 500 वर्ड्स. Why? भाई का मूवी है, उतना रिव्यू लिखने का. Someone is Akshay Kumar's fan, he will write 400 words. Why? Because he is Akshay Kumar's fan. But let's say someone is Akshay Kumar's fan और उसको सलमान का कोई मूवी अच्छा लग गया, वो क्या करेगा? 50 words, that's it. Means what? He liked, both people liked the movie, but one person used less number of words, another person used more number of words, because of which that count is gadbad. That count is gadbad. So what they are saying, don't only go on occurrence count, divide that by number of words, divide that by number of words in a review. This is called as normalization. इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Normalization. So it is number of occurrences in number of occurrences of a word divided by total number of words. Divided by total number of words in review. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर किसी को मूवी अच्छा लगा, वो क्या बोलेगा? यस, मूवी वाज गुड. दूसरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा, अरे एकदम मस्त 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 मस्त. मीन्स व्हाट? One is using once, another is using 4 times. Means okay, the word appeared more. So you can say, how was movie? Good. How was movie? Good. Very good. Means good appeared twice. So your sentiment is more powerful as compared to good. Good. Very very good. So very word appeared twice. Sentiment is more strong. So that's why when you are calculating the term frequency, it is normalized term frequency. It is called as normalized term frequency. Normalized term frequency means what? How many times that word appeared in a sentence divided by total number of words in a sentence, divided by total number of words in a sentence. So that way everything will be taken care of. For example, if you are writing very very good, means there are 3 words, out of 3 2 are very very, means okay good. किसी ने बहुत बार गुड लिखा बट उसका सेंटेंस भी से लंबा 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 है. इट्स लाइक एंटायर पैराग्राफ. कुछ काम दाम नहीं है. इट्स अ कोविड टाइम, एक मूवी देखा, रिव्यू लिख रहा है ऑनलाइन, क्या 1 घंटा टाइम पास करने का ही है. ही इज राइटिंग एंटायर पैराग्राफ. So we should work, in that case we should work. He is liking, acting is good, acting of this person is good, acting of that person is good, and so on. So everything is good, nothing is very very good. So what we are doing, we are dividing the number of occurrence of words divided by total number of words. That's how it is done. So this is a normalized term frequency. This is called as normalized term frequency. Arun is asking a question, sir, when the count of every word takes place, is it for that particular review or of the entire review? It is for that review only, Arun. So when we are calculating the term frequency, you are calculating how many times a word is appeared in that review only. Term frequency is only for that review. Term frequency is only for that review. So next thing is called as inverse document frequency. So inverse document frequency, so term frequency you are calculating for every review. Term frequency you are calculating for every word in every review. And the next thing is inverse document frequency. This is global. This is global. This is for entire document. Term frequency is, let's say the word is good in 3 reviews. In review 1 word is good, 1 good is there. In review 2 word good is there, and review 3 also word good is there. Then in every review, term frequency for good might be different. In every review, term frequency for good might be different. It might be, let's say 0.2 over here, 0.4 over here, or let's say 0.5 over here. For every review, term frequency of good might be different, because in every review, good occurrence count of good will be different, and number of words in a review might be different. But when it comes to inverse document frequency, it is same for entire document. So the formula for inverse document frequency of a word, that is IDF of a particular word, is calculated something like this. It's like a total number of reviews. How many reviews are there divided by number of reviews in which a particular word appeared. Number of reviews containing this word. So it's like in how many reviews this a particular word is appeared, and first part is total number of reviews. So you are dividing total number of reviews by how many documents that a particular word is appeared in, how many documents, and finally we are taking log of it. Finally we are taking log of it. So this is the equation, this is a idea for word, and this will remain same for all the documents or all the reviews. Like a term frequency for good is different for every reviews, but idea for good will remain same in every review. Term frequency of good might be different in every review, but IDF, inverse document frequency for good, will remain same in every review because of its equation. How many reviews are there, and we are dividing it by total number of reviews containing this word, that is good or any other word. And finally, TF IDF is calculated something like this. TF IDF is calculated as term frequency for that word into IDF for that word. So it is a term frequency of a particular word in that review into IDF for that word. So this is the equation used to calculate the TF IDF. So TF IDF will be calculated for first word, second word, third word, up to last word. So let's say if there are 100 features, then there will be 100 TF IDF in every row. In this review there are 100 TF IDF, in this review there are 100 TF IDF, in this review there are 100 TF IDF, and so on. If I'm going with 150 maximum words, then there will be 150 TF IDF in this row, 150 TF IDF, and so on. So this is how one calculates the TF IDF. Any doubt till this point in? Yes, class, any doubt till this point? How to calculate TF IDF? Okay, no doubt. Good. So let's go to code in sklearn how to calculate the TF IDF. So from sklearn dot feature underscore selection. So we want text features. So we are importing TF IDF transformer. We are extracting TF IDF transformer, and let's say TF IDF transformer, I'm writing, let's say TF IDF. I just want to give some name to this object. So TF IDF is equal to TF IDF transformer, and let's apply this thing. So first fit the TF IDF transformer. So TF IDF dot fit. So we want to fit it on our data X. Once it is fit, we can go for transform. So let us say X is equal to, or we can write X underscore transform. Okay, let's use same vector X. Why we should create a new object? X is equal to TF IDF dot transform. So apply transform on X. So once it is fit, we will apply it, and let's use a separate object only, X transform, and let us print this thing. Print X underscore transform. I think I did some typing mistake. So let's copy paste this thing over here. One more copy paste, typing mistake. Yes. And now you can see, okay, it's something like this, but we don't want it like this now. So it is not the way that we understand it properly. So how you can understand it properly? After transform, we can count it to 2 array, and that's why 2 array is required. And now, yes, this is something that we can understand. And now you can see these things are in points now, and obviously this thing will be in point. Why? We are going for multiplication now. We are going for multiplication, TF into IDF, and the frequency is an integer or not. It cannot be integer because it's a number of occurrence of word. So both the numbers are in, both the numbers will have decimal places. So final result will be like this only. And if you want, you can print only one thing. That's let's say x underscore transformed of 0. Let's check how a particular thing looks. And you can see most of the values are 0 only. No? Most of the values are 0. And that's how it is. And now this is the x part in a format. Am I right? This is a x part in a format required for machine learning. That is, there are fixed number of columns in every row, and we know sentiments are also there as a y column, so we can apply any machine learning algorithm on it. So we can easily apply any machine learning algorithm on it. So we'll not see how to apply because we have already did it n number of times. We have x part, we have y part, and now yes, you can easily apply. And let's say instead of 10,000, 1,000, you want to go for all 50,000. It will take a long time. Huh? So we are, so there is some exception while processing some line, something like that. So we need to look into those exceptions also as and when it come appear, but it doesn't matter. 1,000. Ah, I guess I tried to run the wrong code. I should comment this print statement. So very long display of result now. Print reviews, print sentiment. It's better. And after that, what we can do, we can use try catch here now, so as to avoid if there is any kind of a try except. Am I right? And here I can write pass also. I don't want to do anything. Let it be. If there is any error, we are not concerned about it. So instead of 1,000, if I'm running 5,000, it will take some time. And now you can see it is saying some time. So how much time it will take? If you want to go for 50,000, so it will be multiplied by 10, something like that. So it's 49,000. So instead of 150, let us go with 510 words. And instead of 5,000, let's go with all 50,000 reviews. And now it is taking some time. So 10 times more now. So it depends on the speed of your system, how fast your system is. So let us see utilization. So currently my CPU utilization is a 74%. That's good, not bad. And even with that also, it is taking some time. So class, any doubt till this point, how you can do all this thing? After that, there is one point remaining for today's session, that image data handling, that we'll check how you can process that digits data for clustering and all. So, okay, no doubt. Okay, good. So vectorizer. It will take some time. 510 features we are asked. 50,000 reviews are processed, and the data set contains 50,000 reviews only, as mentioned on website. So we processed that. For doing all this thing, it took almost 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. Now let us see how much time it will take over here. Definitely this is going to take a good amount of time period. And after doing this, now let's say there are 49,966, means there were 34 reviews having some problem in processing. There were 34 reviews, am I right? You add 34 to it and it will become total 50,000. And the final step is TF-IDF. And it's done. And now this X part is available with you. X transform is available with you as a X part. And this sentiments array, where is that sentiments array? Reviews array. There is a sentiments array. Na? This array you can use as a Y part. You can use sentiments array as a Y part. You can use this X transform as X part, and you can apply any machine learning algorithm on it. Whether you want to apply logistic regression or naive Bayesian or random forest, it doesn't matter. It's up to you only. Now let us go for this digits data set. What the data set is and how it looks like. So we are importing import. Okay, he's asking, sir, see the length of X and Y. So who asked it? Okay, Aaron is asking, sir, to see the length of X and Y. So let's do that. Print X underscore transform dot shape and print sentiments. Okay, we are supposed to print the length of sentiments. So it is same only, no? And Aaron, it is same because if we look at the code, first we are appending the review and then we are appending the sentiment. We are not appending the sentiment at the beginning only. If you will append the sentiment at the beginning, then it might create a problem. But we are appending at the same time. Or first we are appending the review and then we are appending the sentiment. That's why the length will remain same. Okay, Aaron, thank you. So matplot lib dot pyplot as a PLT. K-means algorithm study. We have already studied the algorithm. Am I right, class? We discussed it in a length how you can implement K-means algorithm in a using NumPy. So it is just a implementation in sklearn library. So theory we are not going to repeat one more time. So it's like a import NumPy as NP and from sklearn dot cluster. It's a clustering algorithm. So from sklearn dot cluster we are importing K-means and digit data set it already there. It comes with sklearn library only. So from sklearn dot datasets we will be importing digits data set. For that we are importing load underscore digits. For that we are importing load underscore digits. So now okay, get the data set. So our digits data sets is equal to load underscore digits. Call this method and we'll get the digits data set. So it's something like this digits. Okay, let us print this thing. Print digits dot data dot shape. So let's print the shape of our data. So okay, the shape is like 64. So there are 1797 rows and there are 64 columns. So why there are 64 columns? Because see, this digits data set, it's a handwritten digits data set. This digits data set is nothing but a handwritten digits data set, and every character is represented using a image of size 8 cross 8. Every character is represented using image of size 8 cross 8. It means what? In that image, there are 8 rows or 8 pixels in a row, 8 pixels in a row, and 8 pixels in column. So every handwritten character is available as a 8 cross 8 image, or that's the resolution of that image is 8 cross, size of that image is 8 cross 8. Means what? In every row there are 8 pixels, and in every column there are 8 pixels. So how many in all, how many pixels are there? 8 into 8 is equal to 64. So in all, how many pixels are there? There are total 64 pixels in a data set. That's why size of a data set is like this. There are 1796 rows, means there are 1796 characters. There are in all 1796 characters, and every character is represented using 64 pixels. That's why there are 64 numbers. So that's why there are 64 columns. So let's say I'll print something. I'm printing like this. So I'm printing print digits dot data of 0. See, it is specifying the intensity of every character, like 0 or 5 or 13, something like that. So maximum intensity is a 15. Maximum intensity is a 15. And you know how many values are there? If you'll count these values, there are total 64 values. There are total 64 values. 8 for, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this represents first row. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next 8 represents second row, and so on. Any doubt, class, till this point? No doubt? Sure? Okay, good. So now let us apply k-means clustering on it. So we'll first create the object of k-means. K-means is equal to k means, and the number of clusters that we want is 10. So why we want 10 clusters? Because there are 10 digits: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there are total 10 digits from 0 to 9. That's why we want 10 number of clusters. And okay, once it is done, let's create the cluster of this data. So first we are supposed to fit k-means algorithm. So fit this algorithm using our digits data, digits.data. And once it is fit, means it's done, let us predict. Let us check for predict. So we are saying clusters is equal to k-means dot predict. So I'm applying predict on same data. That is digits.data, digits.data. And now let us print how many cluster centroids are there. How many cluster? Now let us check how many cluster centroids are there. So I am printing k-means dot cluster underscore centers, not centroids, centers underscore. So if we'll print it k-means, so okay, these are cluster centers. So there are 10 clusters, so there are 10 centers, and it's a big number. So values are there, but we cannot easily understand those values. So instead of write this, I'll simply go with shape, and we'll come to know there are 10 centers corresponding to 10 clusters, and in every center there are 64 values, and in every center there are 64 values. So okay, let us try to plot these centers on a graph. So for that we can use matplotlib. So we can simply go for fig comma axis is equal to plt dot subplot. So there are total 10 centers. So I'm creating 2 rows and 5 columns. Yes, 2 rows and 5 columns each. And then we are going with figure size. So what should be the size of figure? So we are going for say 8 comma 3 is a figure size. If we want, we can increase it also. And then get the centers. So from this where k-means dot cluster centers underscore, from which I can get the centers, but I want to display the centers now. But I want to display the centers as an image. So I need to reshape it. I need to reshape it to, there are 10 characters and every character is of size 8 comma 8. So I'm reshaping the centers to 8 cross 8 image. So every image will be reshaped to 8 cross 8. So there are 10 centers. So every center will be reshaped to 8 cross 8 image, or it's a 8 cross 8 array, and we can consider that array as a center. And I'm writing it as a center is equal to this. And now let's use for loop. Let's say for axi comma center in. So zip will create basically a group of ax dot flat comma center. So basically what we are doing, for first center there will be one axis, for second center there will be second axis, for third center there will be third axis, and so on. So it is a for loop. So for every center a separate axis will be created. For every center a separate axis is created using this for loop. And now let's plot it axi dot set. So we are saying that x ticks is equal to blank, and y ticks is also blank, and finally axi dot im show. So we are asking it to print the center, fixed size in a, what happened, why it shows fixed size? Says that okay, subplot, it should be equal to, I forgot equal to here. How can I do such things? 2 comma 5, it is a 2 rows and 5 columns. It should be subplots. How many mistakes I will do in once? Okay, so this is 0 1, but it is not so good now. It's like I don't know which kind of colors are there. Let's display it in black and white. So if I want it in black and white, and second thing, can we delete this thing? So it's there, and it is saying that okay 0 to 5 and something like that, and I don't want this thing 0 to 5. It's annoying, na? So since I don't want this thing, we are saying that okay, x tick and y tick is blank. Because of this, there's numbers on x and y coordinate axis will not be there, and I want it to be in black and white. So we'll write color map is equal to plt dot color map dot binary. So we are asking for binary color map, that is either it should be black or it should be white. So now we can see it's 0 1 9 4 3 2 6 5 1, and something is here. So basically 8 is missing. So clustering for 8 is not done properly. Clustering for 8 is not done properly. So we can understand that okay, kuch to gadbad hua hai. So means what, labels for 8. So there is a cluster centroid for 0, there is a cluster centroid for 1, the cluster centroid for 9, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 6, for 5, for 1. But it is something different. It's again for 7 or something like that. Means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 1. 1 appeared twice. Now here is also 1, it's also 1. Means 8 is missing. 8 is not properly identified because of some XY. It can be any reason. So that is something called as a problem. So clustering is used when you don't know how many different items are there. How many different items are there? तुम लोग बोलोगे सर आपने 10 लिखा है यहाँ पे. You know there are 10 items. So let's say instead of 10 clusters, I'm going with 20 clusters. I'm going with 20 clusters. So okay, I'll run it here for 20. Since I made it 20, I need to do some changes. So let's say instead of 2 rows, okay, let's go with 2 rows, but instead of 5, I'm going with 10 images. And since there are 20 clusters, I'm going with 20 over here. And now we can see over here. So there is 1, there is 8, 9, 6, 4, 0, 7, 9, similar to 8 something. Means what? 8 we might get, but only after 20. But after 20, we can see that there are many things are repeating. There are many things are repeating. So when you don't know how many different things are there, we can go for clusters. So let's say instead of 20, I'm going for 30 clusters. Instead of 20, I'm going for 30 clusters. So I can say 3 rows with 10 each, and figure size I'll go with 10 comma 10, something like this. And here it should be 30. I guess I did some mistake. Cannot reshape array. 30 clusters, 30. So what's the mistake? What's the catch? And okay, now this. Yes, it's there now. And so on. Since the figure size 10 costs 10, it's too big. I'm going for 10 for 4. It's there. And now you can see what are the centered clusters. So basically this such a clustering mechanism you use when you don't know how many different values are there, how many different groups are there. And since we don't know how many different groups are there, we can increase the number of clusters, and then we can see 9, 8, 1, 6, 0, 2, 7, or 5, 2, 2, 3, something like this. And we can identify how many different values are there. So that's why clustering is used. And if you want to apply clustering on image also, you can apply it. What you are supposed to do, simply convert the image from 8 cross 8 or 32 cross to the 32 to a flat array like this, to a flat array like this, and then we can apply clustering on it, or we can apply any other classification algorithm also, like Naive or multi-layer perceptron, and or any other algorithm. So class, that's it from me for today's session.